Hello everyone, it is Joe here from Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. Today we're going to be looking at a straight version of Arceus alongside Inteleon as its only partner, really just trying to say that Starbirth is a crazy ability and Arceus VSTAR is super overstated in the game, and saying that he's good enough to win most matchups when you have the help of Shady Dealings and Quick Shooting to get you over the line post Starbirth, which is the V-Star power of Arceus. One of the main reasons why it is so powerful is that we can go ahead and grab any two cards out of our deck using this ability. It's a once per game effect with the V-Star power, but it's very, very strong. It really helps us set up Trinity Nova, its main attack here, for 3 colorless energy. You do 200 damage, and you can attach 3 basic energy to your Pokemon V in any way that you like. So typically, you're setting up your next Arceus. That's kind of the idea here. And because you have such good inbuilt energy acceleration, it means that we can try and use the new Cheren's Care Supporter from the new set as well, allowing us to pick up colorless Pokemon into our hand if they have damage counters on them. This is going to be a really important card, and one way that we can try and have a decent time against Arceus Duraludon, actually, because we know Arceus Duraludon is very capped to their damage. They only have the attacks, basically, of Trinity Nova and their G-Max Pulverization from the Duraludon VMAX, so we can use our 280 hit points and even go higher with the Big Charms in our deck and try and pick up our Arceus, undo a turn of damage from the opponent, and put it all back down, and Trinity Nova to start reattaching to our Arceus. So that's kind of the idea here. That's how we're going to try and have a good time against Duraludon. And then really, because we have so much space in the deck, just by having the consistency engine and the attacker also being a big part of the consistency, we can also try and skew the matchup against Mew by having some tech cards, most notably Path to the Peak. Now, obviously, we don't enjoy seeing Path ourselves if we are yet to Starbirth, and we have no answer in this list for that. But there are very few decks actually playing that higher path. I think it would really be like Jolteon, which is still kind of like on the very low percentages of being played. There's some Gengar, there's some Ice Rider, so there are a couple decks out there, but really for the sort of upper echelons, I think there isn't much path to be seen. So using this against a Mew player, and even against other Arceus decks, if you're the player going first, you Starbirth, then path the opponent, they don't get their Starbirth unless they have a counter stadium, which is really annoying for them. So yeah, very good into Mew by trying to drop the path Marnie combo on them, really make them have like cram heads flips and stuff like that if they get lucky out of their Marnie to try and get them there. That's really the main idea that we have going on here. Outside of that, not too much to be said. We have the Dunsparce, which removes our fighting weakness, which is obviously important against Rapid Strike, Single Strike, and also Zapdos V that can be running around in other builds of Arceus. And then we have the Inteleon line. As you know, Keep Calling is very useful. Because we play Melony and Raihan, you can afford to do the turn 1 attach, Keep Calling play, get multiple Sobbles down. Knowing that you can accelerate from a 0 energy board all the way up to a 3 energy board with Trinity Nova, and then getting 3 more out of the deck as well. So yeah, the Shady Dealings help us see us through the mid game. Quick Shooting as well, obviously very helpful, can help us get over like caped and big charmed 2 prize Pokemon, which is obviously very nice, and can also set up single prize Pokemon. Otherwise, we're just hitting the active every single turn. And in single prize matchups, do bear in mind that Aqua Bullet is a reasonable option, 120, and also a little 20 poke can add up nicely with some quick shootings in there as well. So a fairly well-rounded deck, basically just trying to tech its way through some of the bigger matchups like Duraludon and Mew by having, the Cherens for Duraludon, the Path Marnie combos for Mew, also Path Marnie good in Mirror, and like other Arceus matchups in general. And surprisingly, that already covers like 40% of the meta from what we're seeing in early tournaments. And yeah, outside of that, you're just trying to be a very consistent, hard-hitting 2-prizer for the most part. Outside of that, not much else to say, really. You could play around with the ball search counts. I know higher Ultra Ball means we would have higher odds of getting like double Arceus V down in the openings. I've also wanted to try and squeeze in some capture energies even into this list for just even more outs towards multiple Arceus. Because one thing I do find with this engine is that you really are sort of just left with whatever's in your opening hand to play with. So if you only get one Arceus down, sometimes the opponent can, if they've gone first, gust up and knock out the first Arceus, and you're going to have a very slow couple turns. But I do think we have some good comeback potential with the Marnie Path plays, and I do think that we keep most decks honest just by being a hefty 2-prizer being thrown at them. You can try and skew that prize race, force them through an Inteleon as well at some point in the game, or make them knock out an early Sobble, and give yourself some breathing room. That's kind of the idea of the deck. So let's jump into it. It has done fairly well recently in some events. I know it's not the most popular build of Arceus right now, but we're basically marrying up one of the strongest new cards that we have in the game with one of the strongest engines possible, so I can't see it being too bad. And we are getting to go first, which is always great for Arceus. Sorry for my cold, by the way. You can hear in my voice that I'm kind of bunged up a little bit, so I'll try and mute if I have to like blow my nose or anything. So we do have the Melony for turn 2, so I could lead out the Sobble. It's a little bit safer against Mew, and that's kind of why I'm leaning towards that direction. I think you always have to have Mew in your mind to start things off, where you want to have double 1-prizer Pokemon put into play, as well as your 2-prizer Pokemon. Forces like, well, it means that you play around Escape Rope, right? But it looks like we're in a mirror match situation, and we actually pick up the Marnie as well now. So I'm pretty happy to see that. I will now search to see, we do have our net for next turn, because basically what I'm going to try and do next turn, we do have our paths, which is really important to know for mirror. Now that we've picked up the Marnie, I'm probably just going to go attach to this Arceus, make another Sobble, pass it over, holding on to Starbirth next turn after a Marnie, which gives us really good chances of doing good stuff. So that seems okay. Let's go for this. But yeah, definitely bear in mind, keep calling. It is still a very solid option in this deck when you have acceleration on your side. But I'm pretty happy with our first turn here. And yep, looks like news is getting around about this deck. We're going to be in a mirror match here. I think going first in the mirror is obviously a very big deal. So we'll see how our opponent can react to that. As we are going to pick up a Choice Belt, which is not a bad option at all. I don't mind going early with Belt in the mirror. And we will just play this Marnie here. Our opponent didn't do particularly too much, but their turn 2 Power Spike is via Drizzile and their V-Star, right? Just like us. So, we can deal for the net, get ourselves out of the active position. We'll do our nets. We can Quick Ball, make another Arceus, because we need something to attach to with our Trinity Nova here. So let's use our Starbirth. I definitely want to go Double Turbo Big Charm. This plays around them knocking out our Arceus via shenanigans, but it's actually very difficult for them to with no things in their discard pile. Also, I don't think I actually need to do this because we're going to be disrupting them so much. So I think it's just this, honestly. And then we grab the path with the deal. Very awkward for them to try and do anything this turn. They need to like hard draw into their own double turbo energy, which is no easy task when they don't have Starbirth. It's one thing that Shady Dealings can't get you is energy cards, well, special energy cards. And yeah, pretty much looks like Path did the job there. Like us, they may only be playing Paths themselves, so maybe one Shady Dealing couldn't just get them out of Counter Stadium to then Starbirth. So yeah, denying their Arceus is really good. If you do want to improve that mirror match, you could play a Counter Stadium. The likes of Collapsed would not be bad. Training Court if you really wanted to. Those seem reasonable. Alright, we'll get into another game. Going second. I have no energy drops, which is kind of awkward. My best draw comes from Raihan, which I can't activate right now unless I hold the Ultra Ball. So I'd probably lead out Sobble here. If I had a hand that was more likely to get Trinity Charge value, I'd go that direction, but I think I'd be very happy with a Keep Calling based on this hand. We're up against Dragapult. Okay. Pretty scary for our engine, but at least we have Cheren's Care. So there's the double turbo, which does make our turn much stronger. As they are getting their early energy drop, getting their first Sobble down as well. Good start from them. Just a pass. Okay, we pick up the Marnie. I think I will rip Marnie here. I think I want to try and make it as difficult as possible for them to take that KO, obviously. I could hold Ultra Ball. It's good for getting the V-Star, but we know they're a Path deck. So it's not actually that strong. I think I should just try and limit their hand in this instance. Well, that's a lot of Pokemon. We have to hope both Sobbles aren't KO'd here a little bit, which can happen with a easy Zigzagoon ping, as long as they find their VMAX. And also a Path would be very awkward for us here. We are definitely an ability-reliant deck. They kick things off with the Choice Belt. They may be digging for Drizz here for supporter, or if they're happy with their hand, they can just grab the VMAX, which they're going for. They have a big research here. They need energy. They need Zig to have a very annoying double KO. Which I imagine would be their prerogative. They did have to dig for the Fog Crystal for the energy, so maybe we're okay here. Nope, they have another Level Ball. Definitely going to be the Zig, definitely target the engine, always the correct thing. If they can combine it with a Path, I'm crying. If not, we're still in the game. Okay. We can still play the game despite the triple Drizzile. So you're not going to see the power of Inteleon at all this game, actually. Because I don't think we can put any more down. I can put one more down, I guess. I'm definitely going to research here. Because I really don't need, like, any of these cards. I could get one more Sobble down. It's not valuable for them to knock it out in terms of a prize race. I have so many outs to hit this Sobble, though. I might just go for guaranteed energy, so I don't feel bad about things when I would otherwise whiff. Let's keep it simple. We do hit the Sobble. Like I said, we had a crazy number of outs. Let's make our V-Star. The Sobble doesn't help their race, so they might let me have it. I don't have the Cheren's Care, which is the card I want most, so I might continue to thin here. If I have a valid target, yeah, I do. My hand is bad enough that I might go double Sobble here. It only gets punished if they boss KO the 2. But my hand really relies on it. I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to proactively Drizzile to hand. because it's like, it's one of these half bluffs where it's like, I'm showing him that I'm getting value, which might make him sprinkle here. But also it thins the deck in case he does that. So I can actually have better draws towards Cheren, which is essentially the only card that matters in our deck at this point. The good news is the opponent had no horror energies attached, so we're not getting freebie damage sprinkled onto us just yet. They need to start working on their next Dragapult, as we are starting to threaten this guy down. Let's see what they're up to. It's a tough call for the opponent here. I feel like if they do sprinkle the Sobble here, they're losing out on a good amount of damage on our benched Arceus. But when you reveal a Shady Dealings, it's got to be tempting, right? Got to be tempting for them. They can start dealing. Oh, they're going to go for shooting so they can ping. And we're going to see a Marnie, which is nice. Okay, well, we hit the only card that matters, and they are going to try and target this Sobble, so we've saved ourselves some damage, which is nice. So our turn is pretty simple. It's just pick up and hit, right? We're going to try and thin the deck. The choice belts aren't as good as Big Charms in this case. Our opponent with a lot of meat to get through after just one Cheren. Our hand size may look big, but the only card that matters is the VSTAR right now. And even that's not like entirely true, because we can go 200 into 110. Oh no, we can't. I would need to choice belt up. So I'm not devastated by a Marnie here, even though the hand size would be greatly reduced. Uh-oh, they play Zap as well. That is going to make things a lot harder. They can Raihan find fighting energy now. They can retreat KO. That's not that much better for them, is it? No, because I have the choice belt already. I can definitely see why they're making this play, because it makes me have the choice belt, but I actually do. Which is kind of funny. They play Path and Zapdos. That's interesting, because we saw Path from their early mulligan. An interesting combo. They also were forced to pay retreat, which is really quite bad for them. They're going to start quick shooting the bench, of course. So now we really need to boss next turn. As we do get kicked in by a Zapdos, seems good. We're obviously very scared if they have another one. So in that instance, I should probably put another path down. I should put my own path down, realistically. I don't want to draw any of these cards. I only want to draw my boss. which we have done. I'm not going to play the Level Ball, because if they Marnie me back, I want all of those cards to stay at the bottom of my deck that I just shuffled in. Oh, I shuffled the deck anyway, so that was actually a mistake. I should have grabbed something. That was like a dumb, smart play. I was like, yes, my logic is fine, apart from the fact that I'm already always shuffling my deck. Yeah, we definitely should have played this Level Ball. So they can Raihan to their Dragger, which means we win. I don't see a way that they beat us now. So, spooky Zapdos coming out, but we were able to get over the line anyway, which is nice. Let's just hit. So pretty good. An Inteleon-less game. We were just cosplaying as a Duraludon player, basically, that game. Let's get one more in. But I have actually forgotten the sponsor of today's video, which is the same as every video, the Potown store. Go ahead and check them out for all your PTCGO and PTCG Live code needs. Yeah, I think they're a great store, and always important to prepare yourselves for PTCG Live when we actually do transition over. For now, though, we're back still on PTCGO and really waiting for a game here. Yeah, I can't believe I missed out on talking about the lovely Potown store. Omnipoke is the code you need to use if you want to get 5% off. Let's get into game number 3. Because we had an early concession in the mirror. We were able to beat a Dragger. Depending on how quickly this one goes, we'll have one or two more. So really good opening hand here. This is an excellent, excellent opener. We are going second. There's a real argument to go keep calling here, based on this hand. It kind of ignores the research for a couple of turns and pigeonholes us into like a Raihan play next turn, or on our turn too, but I think it's the best way to protect our Arceus and still develop a board. We see Snorlax, so this is probably some sort of Cincino build. Path of the Peak is very good against most of these, I would say, because I imagine they're using Zapdos as their fighting type chap. Capture, so maybe it's Control. I think most of these builds are normally playing Dark or Fighting Energies. I don't think they often play other things, unless it's Durant even. I might play Evo Incense here to scout if it's dark, like to scout if my Melony's in deck. Keep Calling is really good here unless I've prized my Melony. I think I should scout. Okay, so Melony's in deck, so I'm allowed to keep calling here, which is nice. Against Durant, typically you would just do like as little as possible, but in this deck you actually want to set up double Inteleon. Actually, triple Inteleon would be good, because I can pressurize a lot with the trio. So Keep Calling seems great here. Second Arceus is kind of okay to put down. Yeah, let's just do this. If I'm hard committed to our opponent actually being on Durant here, I may have just kept one Sobble in the deck, and it does look like we're Durant. I wasn't like certain, so I didn't go for it, but a definite argument to keeping one Sobble in the deck there. We're gonna get Boss's Orders up, and just a Gormandize. Okay. So, oh, okay, well they conceded for some reason. I do think our matchup should be pretty strong there though. Obviously, they play nets to undo some of the damage, so you probably want to ping around a couple targets. But our start was really good there. We probably would have ended with a couple Drizzile in play. We could have attacked that turn, because I would have netted active, paid retreat on the Sobble, Melony, and double turbo. So we definitely would have started with the pressure. And I wouldn't have had to play many other cards, like, for the remainder of the game. Alright, so we're in a pretty pigeonholed turn 1 position here. And we see a Manaphy, which makes me think I'm not going to be pressurized too much turn 1. So I may just attach active, discard deal and research, and make a Sobble and pass. I could get rid of both supporters here, because triple Inteleon is super important if it's a one prize matchup. Feels really bad against Path, though. Let's just do this. And yeah, we did prize one of our Drizziles, which is annoying. Exactly what I didn't want to see. We do have our Big Charms, we have our Cherens. This is pretty decent all around, I would say. Not a bad opener. I get rid of research there over Marnie, I think, every time, just because I'm starbirthing. I'm expecting to starbirth, I guess, is a better way to say it. Let's see where our opponent's actually playing, first of all, before we overcommit to anything. Juicy Ultra Ball. Let's see. Manaphy doesn't give us much indication. They're really having to think about what they want to discard here. Okay. Looks to be like a mirror of sorts, I guess is the best way to put it. A mirror of sorts. Okay. So, I'm thinking boss this, Starbirth for DCE Path. Sounds pretty disgusting. The only thing this doesn't do is let me attach to another Arceus. But I'm not too threatened by that, I don't think. Especially when I already have Supporter. I don't mind committing this. I think I pulled one out of deck. Gives me the option to pay retreat double turbo if I need to for some reason. Let's see how good the hand actually was then. The Ultra Ball gave me no indication that they can actually, that they have like Supporter in hand or anything. Yeah, second capture just means they might be Trinity charging this turn to another Arceus. Yeah, that's all they have. Do I feel ahead enough to just go Marnie here? I think I am ahead enough to just go Marnie here. Like, I'm pressurized just by Power Edge from either of them anyway. We do hit the Incense for the big deal. So I can power up my next Arceus here, which is going to be really good for a Cheren's Care that's holding in hand. Or being held in hand. So I think we just go net quick, right? Puts us first attack ahead. Our board is substantially stronger than theirs. Can all be turned around though with some crafty play from the opponents. They do develop their next Sobble. Happy to get rid of Boss, so they have a supporter. Just a Marnie, okay. Oh, they're having to pay retreat here? Okay. So we were pretty unfortunate actually to not hit any Drizzile out unless we top deck one here to actually get Cheren's Care off. Wow, they play a lot of basic energy. Should I take the opportunity to boss now? I get very punished by them Cherening me. I think I need the cards, honestly. I don't like this boss too much because it could be really good if they, like, for some reason prize one and I can get some pings going. But I think I just need the cards. Yeah. We just need the cards. They had a very effective Marnie. It was super effective. Okay, we hit Incense. Pretty happy to see that. In an ideal world, we hit Drizzile out there. We double Drizzile up. Then we Cheren. Then I feel fully in charge of the game. Now, though, they have the chance to start growing Inteleons before us, which is a bit scary. And we're under threat of them Cherening us again next turn. So we're not actually super far ahead. We're a little ahead. We're not super far ahead. We also only have one boss remaining, so I can't, in good conscience, like, aggro Gust one of these two chaps. Because I may need to finish off an Arceus anyway. So I just need to make another Arceus next turn and hit active and feel bad about any incoming Cheren from them. So we're going double deal. Or I could just deal one and quick ball. It makes my hand safer. Yeah. Have Melony and Raihan in deck as well, which is no bad thing. Definitely want to try and hit Big Charm here. Nice. Don't hit DCE, which is a bit of a shame. This protects our Arceus very nicely, though. We still have no Drizzile out, which is a shame. May thin the deck to improve that. You actually do a lot of deck thinning with this list. Because you don't have that much inherent card draw, you just have like a ton of tutoring. The good news is when you thin your deck entirely of your basic energy, you have so many good draws, right? That's the hope. So, we are terrified of Cherens here. This is a great way, this is a great window for them to use a Cherens. Because we've Big Charmed up, they don't have the easy boss play. So I think it's a pretty clear heel turn for them. There's the incense. They're going to go big deal, some big turn ahead. Have to think that they're healing. Although they are playing 7 basic energy and captures. So how many Cheren do you think they play? And they play Rod. And Manaphy. They play a lot of cards that I don't. Which makes me think they're either like lighter on the support account, or they may not play as many Cheren. They may only play 1. They're really taking their time with this shady deal. I think the easiest shady deal would just be net Cheren. Okay, Cheren Incense is similar. Okay. Seems like a good choice. Heal active. Well, pick up active. Reattach to bench. Now I'm going to see Quick Ball, getting rid of Double Turbo for Dunsparce, just in case I randomly cheese him with it, I guess. Or just deck thinning. Deck thinning by the looks of it. Let's see if we hit a Drizzile out. We do not, but energy is really good here as well. So if we pay retreat, it would make it hard for him to Cheren. He'd want to boss. So let's get our double deal going. Have to be a little bit careful with our energies if I'm making this pay retreat play. But I think it's right. Let's pick up our boy, rebench this boy. Let's just hit, see what they have in store for us. I imagine they have a good turn laid out. They picked up Incense last turn and didn't deal, right? So they could have more deals in store. One Cheren played so far, one boss played. They are going to go ahead and play the Incense now. Do they think they have time to start using Inteleon against us? Quick shooting? Sounds weird. Ah, they played double big deal. Nice. So this will be a turn of sorts, for sure. Let's see what they want to elect to go for. The boss seems powerful. The second Cheren seems powerful. Both good options. Marnie collapsed, so they can actually get the Star Birth off as well now. Can they bench and remove this from play? That would be very strong. It's like a Cheren. They have to be a little concerned about their own energy usage. Actually, not so true, because they have the 3 double turbos still lingering, or an amount of double turbos still lingering. Nice, so this is a really good heal turn for him, with the collapsed, while still putting the pressure on us. So they can combine it with the boss. Very nice, very nice. Two boss down, one Cheren. Yeah, it's gonna be close. Ah, they play Pad. Interesting. How about Cheren Melony? Interesting. So we know they have heal out next turn. Well, actually not guaranteed next turn. They would need net to have that play. Let's do this. I think I'm Cherening to Inteleon here. It is important for us to not miss this double turbo. Oh no, because I'm going to Cheren's next turn. Let's get our Drizzile out. It's going to be super close. I want to still have the Cheren in the deck for a Marnie. So I can hit him for 200. So how many nets have he played? He's played one net. But there's no energy here. So we can't do a Cheren's Care play. So let's just ping hit. Only really get crumbed here if he has E-Switch. If you can go E-Switch Cheren double turbo, I'm very sad. Otherwise, I'm feeling pretty okay about all this. Unless they play a ton of Scoop Up Nets. If they still have like 3 nets left, I'm very sad. Oh, do they have Echoing Horn Choice Belt Boss? No, because they didn't put any boss back. They're just playing it to get rid of it. Tactical game for sure. They're just gonna Nova us. Okay. So it's always Cheren's Care here. So interesting. Big Charm could keep us out of range with our active. 3, 6, 7 water. Do they still have Intel to ping me down? They could. So I guess it's safest just like this. Oh man, maybe Big Charm had to go here. That's actually annoying. I have to quit treating this guy now. And let's not telegraph it, let's put the damage here as well, I guess. It's better if he evolves, I can do this still. Yeah. Oh, I forgot I'm actually doing 0 damage with the bench snipe. So we have game with Waterfall if he doesn't evolve here. Things gets dicey if he does evolve. Let's see. Or if he nets. Nope, we're good. We win. That was a really close game. You have to think one of their last prizes was Inteleon. But the 50 damage is going to get us over the line here. I definitely should have Big Charmed active. I just didn't even need to rebench this. I was thinking I just didn't have as many turns as I thought I had. Yeah, definitely Big Charm active there, and I feel like I'm way safer. because we're basically playing towards him not having ping Inteleon anyway. But yeah, super interesting game. I think I could have done a couple things differently there. Definitely those last couple of turns, it was getting pretty dicey. But they did well to get themselves back into that game with the collapsed stadium play. That was really nice. But yeah, that was Arceus Inteleon. Super interesting deck, a ton of options, ton of flexibility with all the deals and whatnot. So keep an eye on all those. Let me know what you guys thought about the list. How good do you think this deck is? Do you think it's a top contender? Do you think it needs more to win out some of the top matchups? So far I've had a fairly dicey Mew with this deck. You know, it's one of those things where sometimes the Marnie path works, sometimes it doesn't, and yeah, sometimes they're just early tempo out Arceus, etc., which is scary. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video tomorrow. Cheers.